Hello everyone, I'm Sukyang majoring in English education. This week we learned about iconic fashion and society through a TED Talk video. But in this video, what made me shocked was Million Hoodie March. It happened all over the United States in 2012, in which people wore hoodies with the hood up and marched the streets against prejudice toward African Americans. As my professor said, unfortunately these accidents caused by racism are happening now. So today I'd like to pay attention to racism. In our society, racism is still pervasive. I think it is caused by prejudice without any specific or rational reason. I classify racism into three categories. This is the order of my presentation. Then let me start my presentation. The first thing is the racism against black people. This racism has been kept for a long time. I'd like to talk about two people who were struggling for black people's human rights, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. I first got to know Malcolm X when I learned Marcus' essay in a class last semester. The two men had something in common in that they worked for black human rights, but their pursuit was completely different. Malcolm X insisted racial separatism. He thought white American and black American could not live together. So the permanent solution was complete separation. It was promoted by his religion, Nation of Islam. On the other hand, Martin Luther King insisted racial integration. He thought we could live together regardless of racial. His claim is well expressed in his famous speech, "I Have a Dream." Second one is the racism against Jews. Hitler killed countless Jews just because they were Jews. The Holocaust refers to the killing by the Nazis of millions of Jews during the Second World War. This incident remains a very painful history. A few years ago, I watched a movie called The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. It was a movie about a friendship between a Nazi officer's son and a Jewish child imprisoned in Auschwitz. I don't want to be a spoiler of this movie, so I don't say the ending, but this movie gave me the strong impression about how cruel discrimination against Jews was. Third one is racism against Asians. I think Asians are perceived inferior. In particular, Asians are often ridiculed for their appearance. The fact that a Starbucks employee ridiculed the appearance of an Asian was a hot topic. In addition, it seems that there are frequent cases of being abused just because they are Asian. Especially recently, the coronavirus has made racism worse for Asians. Frankly, I've been also worried about going abroad as an Asian. Now I share my opinion about this topic. As transportation becomes more convenient, people are gradually expanding the stage of their lives. I can feel that the word global village is becoming a reality. But our perception seems to be failing to keep up with social change. To be honest, I can say I don't have any racial prejudice either. While preparing this presentation, I could reflect myself. Definitely it will take a lot of time, but I believe we will be able to solve this problem gradually. We must have the perception that difference is not wrong and the attitude to accept diversity. I think it is also important to keep in mind that we are all human, so we have to try to respect each other as a human being. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for your attention.